Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and today I want to go over the tiny Knipex Cobra pliers. Guy Fast Eddie, who's got a YouTube tool channel, just highlighted his that he picked up off the Snap-on truck. And if you haven't checked out his channel, please do. He's got, in fact, just today, which was 4 days ago to you guys, but he released this tremendous Snap-on tool haul. Really impressive. But anyway, he went over his new Knipex 87-100s, which is this particular model right here. It's about 100 millimeters long, or in America we might call that 4 inches. But basically it's a tremendous small plier. I mean, it's the engineering, the execution, I mean, this is just great. Now, many of us had been using this as our small Knipex. Or this small one if you've got the plier wrench. But now they released this, which really is getting down to about the minimum of what a hand is good for. Otherwise it's going to be a novelty tool. But this actually can do some pretty significant work. Now, if you don't know much about the Knipex Cobras, basically this is like their standard. I have had this thing forever. It has been beat up. It's been probably left out over the winter, where I was working on some irrigation project. And anyway, they're just an amazing plier. Way better, I think, than the channel lock for the stuff that these really exceed at. And one of the things they really exceed at is the ability to ratchet up onto something, grab it, and then allow you to just release a little bit and then continue to turn. So you can do some pretty fast work versus, say, something like this where you'd line it up, turn, this is actually stuck on, make it bigger, line it up, turn, make it bigger, line it up, turn, that kind of thing. Or maybe use a pipe wrench here. We used to try to get away with those where this actually has this play here, which is designed to grab, twist, release, grab, twist, release. Not quite as smooth, but it does have its place. But anyway, there are about 3 different ways these index here. Here are some examples. I'll get some good ones here. One is using kind of this arced or portion of a circle, a little more than the hemisphere, that slides into one of these notches. I think there's like 6 of them here, or 7. I don't really like this very well because they catch. That's the problem with tongue and groove pliers, kind of like these channel locks. You just have to line things up within those slots, and sometimes they jam up. And if you force them, like right now, they're not lined up. They were kind of sticking. If I force it, I will spread the jaws and I can ruin the pliers. It just wedges in there. So that's one way I don't like it. I don't even know if they still make it like that. And then there were 2 that use this ratcheting kind of index mechanism that uses a spring-loaded plunger that fits into the back that allows these to slide up. But you notice the coarseness. Not only the coarseness, but the size of the ability to ratchet. So this is a newer one that actually has a much larger, not only range, but a finer set of choices, so you can really get it dialed in for exactly what you want. So that's the one to go with. Of the small ones, these are just ideal for an awful lot of quick work. And the difference between these, this is the smallest of their traditional Cobras, which uses the push button and has the coated handles. Then they came out with this little guy, and I got this way back like last August or something. As soon as I saw it, I wanted one, and I actually had contacted my local Snap-on dealer, and he had never heard of it, and it wasn't in the catalog. Like a month later, he'd heard about it, but I was already on a wait list at Amazon, and I was able to get this. But anyway, it's the 87-100 for I think 100 millimeters. And then this is their plier wrench, the smallest version. And the plier wrenches actually behave very similar to the standard Cobras, except they have flat parallel jaws, so they grab something, or grab a nut more like a traditional wrench here. So if you grab a wrench like this where you're grabbing, turn, loosen, grab, that kind of thing, this is designed to grab it and then you loosen and it grabs it again, loosen, grab it again. So it uses just that little bit of a kind of a cantilever right here to change the strength on the bolt, allowing it to loosen enough for the bolt rotation to spread the jaws. If you crank it up really tight, on one of these I could demonstrate that. I think it was maybe this one. I can't turn it even when it's loose. So you have to, if you get too big, it might not be enough, or you have to back it off a little bit and then almost close the handles fully in order to get that that kind of indexing or ratcheting that we all like. These are designed with the Cobras with a unique way of keeping the jaws centered. The lower jaw is fed through this parallel set of kind of upper jaw supports versus kind of the standard offset design of traditional pliers. So these have just tremendous strength, and one of the things that Knipex likes to show off is, you know, if you grab something and crank down on it, you should be able to just do nothing. I guess it loosened here. Let me crank it up. There we go. This actually is enough to hold it. In fact, you could stand on this just with that one arm because it's on so tight. So that's a tremendous advantage of these kinds of things. But back to this little guy. Look at the range on this. I can go out, look at the size of this nut, and I can grab this thing right there. I mean, that's enough probably for my hand strength to turn it. Not even close on the plier wrench. In fact, the plier wrench, that's the max of the small one. You can see the diameter difference there. And then this guy here, I can also wedge on it, so it's got a pretty good grip. But anyway, these are just super handy, and as Fast Eddie noticed, they're like an EDC type of plier. Notice they had to redesign the indexing mechanism here because they couldn't put a button in it, I guess because of the size. So if you open it all the way, it slides freely. But also on this one, there's a little nut here. This lower jaw, just by sheer pushing it up, will allow you to cinch it in to whatever you want. So you open it up to move it down, and then you can slide it up to grab. So I hope they design some other pliers with that feature. It's really handy. Love that. The tiny little channel locks, these are more like, you know, just ignition pliers, not very strong, easy to bend. So I was thrilled when I was able to get a hold of this. And this is a little add-on I did with it because these things are everywhere. They're small. You know, people love them. I don't want to get mine mixed up. So what I did is I took some shrink wrap for an electrical connection, just cut it. I buy it in bulk, and then just shrunk wrapped it onto the handle so I know which one's mine. I've been playing with that. Thought about doing the whole handle, you know, just for some grip, but I realized I didn't need it. Anyway, the Cobras, plier wrenches, and especially the small Cobras are really essential, I think, for a lot of the work I do. And if I had to have one, you know, carry one in the car, which I do, you know, it'd probably be one of my go-to pliers over something else almost immediately until I needed one of the others, just because they're so handy. Just to have a quick little pair of pliers, and oftentimes I'll have a Leatherman or something, but I'd prefer a pair of pliers and a real knife. But anyway, with that, hope you can find these. I think they're fully available now, but they're definitely worth having. With that, Doc out.